get over here for a sec. I'm gonna bring up FL. So I'm just gonna load up a simple serum. I think if it's the third EQ thing. Okay, I'll show you how to read this, right? So, I forget how to do this. Hold on, unison. We just add a bunch of unison to this wave, right? And then add some detune. Not maybe that much. Okay, so yeah, let's grab that C2. All right. So I was talking about ozone, and I want to show you something how to read this thing if you haven't read it already, or if you haven't used this already. But this will be another tutorial that I can post on YouTube. So what I want to talk about is phasing, and especially phasing in the low end. When you have stereo sounds in the low mid or the low end, especially the sub and the bass of your track, what happens in speakers is a waveform will come out of the left and out of the right, and they'll be inverse of each other. So when they meet, they will cancel each other out. You hear exactly no sound from speakers. Now that causes a lot of weirdness in your mix. You can imagine if certain frequencies just aren't there when you hear it on speakers, it's not the same as when you hear it on headphones. So an easy way is, this is a free tool from Isotope. It's called the Ozone Imager. An easy way to tell if you're phasing is to look at this thing right here. Now this is a vector scope, and it also has a stereo correlation meter. Now, if this stereo correlation meter is dipping below 0 a whole bunch, that means phasiness. That means, and if the vector scope is spreading out to the very sides and there's nothing in the middle, that means phasing, and it's not a good thing. It means that frequencies are going to disappear in the speakers. So how you fix that? Simple thing. All right. So if you have a mid-side EQ, an easy way to fix it is just to grab a mid-side EQ and take out the stereo in the low end. Unfortunately, FL Studio, no mid-side EQ, right? So what do you do in FL Studio? You can go get a free tool. Free tool is called G Mono Bass from gvst.co.uk. G Mono Bass, really simple, just grabs everything below 150 and makes its width 0. And then we look in the imager and see what happens there. We now have stereo correlation, right? Now, the one thing I want to point out is the higher up in frequency you get, the less you have to worry about phasing, because those frequencies are moving really fast. It's really hard for them to collide, and when they do collide, there's always a repetition right behind it that is going to hear anyway. So don't worry about like phasing in the high end so much. Obviously, if you have no stereo correlation, there's gonna be some issue with shit disappearing. But like you do, like this is for the low end mostly. So this tool, G Mono Bass. Another way you can do this in FL is you can grab a frequency splitter, right? NFL. If I could spell frequency. Oh, it's not named Fruity. Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so this is a frequency splitter. And what we can do is we can just take the low, and you can see the crossover right here is at 200 hertz. We can move that to probably 120, 115, somewhere around there, right? And we can take the low end, take the main out of it, and then we can send it to its own bus, right? And then you have the frequency splitter. Sorry, send this to its own bus. I have to sidechain this now. There we go. So, and then I have to pick the right bus. Okay, that's the right one. There we go. We have the low end out now. Okay, so now that we have the low end out, all we have to do is take the stereo separation, boom, bring that back to, what do you call it? Fully merged, mono. And then, boom, phasing issue done too. So, thank you for watching the quick tutorial.